Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm bringing you some brunch ideas that you can use year-round, but with Mother's Day tomorrow, it's the perfect time to try out these recipes. Brunch is all about getting up late with a lazy start to the weekend, a perfect way to start the day with great food that's both easy to make and packed with flavor. On the menu, we have bruschetta for an appetizer, frittata for our main, and some crepes to finish off on a sweet note. So first up, we're using some fresh basil, tomato on the vine, red onion, garlic, baguette bread, olive oil, and balsamic vinegar. So grabbing a bowl, I've diced up the tomatoes into tiny pieces so they fit on top of the baguette, and pitted them so the mix isn't too wet. Then I've diced the onions just as small and add that in. Then the minced garlic and basil. Then the olive oil, and salt and pepper. Give this a mix, and if you have the time, pop this in the fridge for an hour to enhance the flavors. Next, I'm prepping the bread. Cut the baguette in half and then diagonally for shareable slices, and preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then in a small bowl, I'm mixing olive oil and garlic powder. Give this a good mix and spread it onto the bread. Then pop this in the oven for 10 minutes or until lightly golden. For the last part of this recipe, I'm boiling the balsamic vinegar over medium-high heat. Once it reaches a boil, give it a minute or two before removing from the heat. Let it rest for a few minutes. As it cools, it will thicken. Then assemble just before serving, or serve separately for some finger food fun. So next we have the frittata. We're going to start by cutting up all our veg. Then we'll move on to the meat, cheese, and finally the eggs. Next, I'm chopping up the bacon and getting this on the stove over medium-high heat and letting this cook down for a few minutes. Once the bacon has turned color, I'm adding the onions and letting this cook until the onions change color before adding in the sweet peppers. Once the peppers are soft, in goes the mushrooms. Then the tomatoes, the spinach. Then I'm turning this down to low heat and moving on to the eggs and cheese. Adding the eggs to a large bowl, I'm grating in the cheddar cheese and a pinch of black pepper. Then I'm whisking it and setting it aside. Then, grabbing some plain goat cheese, I'm breaking this up into chunks for pockets of flavor in our frittata. Back to the stove, I'm adding in the basil and turning the heat back up to medium-high. Then I'm giving this a quick mix before adding the goat cheese and egg. Make sure the egg reaches the bottom of the skillet by mixing in the egg. Then, top it off with some grated mozzarella and cheddar cheese before popping it in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes or until nicely golden. Once done, let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes before serving. Moving on to dessert, grabbing a blender, I'm adding the wet ingredients first. So in goes the lukewarm water, then the warm milk, melted butter, 4 eggs, a pinch of salt, sugar, vanilla extract, and the flour. I'm going to blend this until the clumps are all gone, scraping down the sides as necessary. Then I'm going to heat a pan over medium heat and add in a small pinch of butter. Using a 1/3 cup of batter, I'm going to spread this over the pan quickly. You'll know it's ready to flip when the edges turn a golden brown. Now the crepes are ready to assemble. On the first one, I'm going to add some Nutella spread to half the crepe and top it off with strawberries. Then fold it in half once, then again. The second filling is Cool Whip, so there's flavor options. Filled again with strawberries and fold. To finish this off, I'm adding Nutella drizzle on top, with a light dusting of confectioner's sugar. With everything assembled, your 3-course brunch is ready to serve for Mother's Day or any occasion. And for beverages, you can have some coffee, tea, orange juice, and enjoy. Alright guys, so that's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and head on over to my channel for more recipes. Until next time, I'll see you in the kitchen.